Good morning. It's Monday, October 17th, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Baguazhang, the 8 palm changes. This week we have palm changes 7 and 8. We're going to review this morning. Tomorrow we'll move out to the bigger room and we'll work on changes 7 and 8 on the pattern. We'll do the same thing on Wednesday. Next week, we're going to review again. I thought about this morning. Next week, we're going to review again 7 and 8. Take it easy through both of them. They're both a little bit longer than all of the rest. And then we're going to start working all 8 on the pattern. That will probably take about 2 weeks-ish, something like that. And I'm going to go moderately quick through most of that. We'll spend, we'll spend the remainder of this year, on Bagua. I'll put this down. We get started. So we're going to schedule remainder of this year, 2022. It's October. Not much left on Bagua. Toward the end of the year, I'm going to take maybe a week or two break from this class. I'm still keep teaching the Qigong classes, but I may take a break from this class because I want to do some work on the equipment. And I need to be in a different frame of mind to do that. So, ideally, what happens is we finish everything that I wanted to cover with Bagua. There's maybe a week, 2 weeks, that we don't have a regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday class. Thursday and Friday will continue. And then in January, I will look at what changes I'm going to make in this 7 a.m. time slot. So I'll have some more announcements as we go through for what else we're going to do at this time. There is possibility that there will be some other times. There is also the very real, here it comes, I've already recorded some material that I have not posted yet, and that's going to get posted, and I have some additional material that I will be recording that will also get posted between now and I'm going to call it the end of January. So quite a bit that is coming, and again some additional things that I'm going to be doing in the new year. I'm looking forward to what else is going to happen in 2023 and trying to make some preparations for the changes that I see coming. And I'll talk about that just a little bit more after we finish our warm-ups. Feet about shoulder width apart, bend the knees. Hand circle in front, back around to both sides, up along the center line, stretch out, roll up through the spine, and again, one more time. Reach out. Keep the knees bent as you reach out over. Make sure your knees stay bent. And fingertips reach up. Elbows drop down. Keep going. Follow the hands. Use the legs as you come up. I say this repeatedly. It needs to be a reminder all the time. Arch through the back. Don't take the weight on your lower back. Take the weight through legs. And come back to center. Alright. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just marking through. So stop the warm-ups for right now. Let me connect that last thought. This idea of what's next. This ability to anticipate. And it's not, oh gosh, I would really like to. It's more, no, I can see it coming. Alright? That ability, that skill, is a skill that we acquire through our practice. We gain that skill. We may not recognize it in our ordinary day-to-day life unless it's pointed out, right? But as we develop the skill in our practice to anticipate what movement is going to come next in our own movement, and then to be able to see what movement is going to come next in an opponent. You can't see what's coming next in somebody else if you can't see it yourself. Okay? Both of those, that ability to see it before it happens. In boxing, they call it telegraphing. And I'm going to show you right now exactly what that means. I'm here, right? I'm here. What am I going to do? What? Seriously, right? There is part of that little bit of a bounce that I might want. If I don't, I'm still, right? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? 3 guesses, right? It doesn't take much to be able to see, and I'm trying to accommodate, that was a little bit of accommodation for the video. In real life, it does not take much to see what the person is setting up to do. What's my left foot doing? I set up to do that. Every step that I took put my weight on my right foot. 10% small step on my left. The left is getting ready to do something. The left is back and it's going to go forward. That's every bit of body language that I just used. I just told you what I was going to do. That anticipation and being able to see that movement. We use that in everything that we do. Our own movement. Here I am, Bagua. We're going to work on palm change 7, which we start here, and we have to anticipate how we're going to get to this position. Right? Here I am. How am I need to get to here. How am I going to do that? I have to prepare for that. I have to know that as I'm stepping here, I want to arrive. If I'm on the right side, I'm going to arrive with the right foot to the front. If I'm on the left side, I'm going to arrive with the left foot to the front. I need to know that. How else can I know what I'm supposed to do? Once I've learned that, once I understand that movement, I can use it. How might I use it? Right? These are our applications. When might I use this particular application? Well, your opponent is doing this, and you might want to make some adjustment. You might want to do this other thing so that your opponent cannot reach you. Right? that ability to see what's coming, or to not tell your opponent what's coming, right? I can be here and I'm not telling you what I'm going to do. I'm just here. I'm not telling you. Could be my left hand, could be my right hand, could be my left foot. Probably not going to be my right foot, but it could be. Now it could be. I shifted my weight just a little bit. That difference, can I see it, can I not see it, do I know where it is, do I not know where it is something that we very much want to pay attention to. That's always where the opening is. And that's where, whether we're talking about a martial application where we have that physical, here's my opening, here's an opportunity for me to do something, or whether we're talking about real world, that martial arts is real world, other real world, I'll put it that way, other real world life events, just basic things that I need to get done today, right? Here's what I need to do, what I decided I wanted to do, here's the things I need to do, how am I going to get this all done, right? Anticipate what needs to happen and when. That ability to anticipate and plan ahead and to be able to work forward to what we are going to do is something that we want to cultivate, right? So I'm walking here, I know that I'm going to change here. I want to be able to anticipate that change, and I want to be able to work that change. So what do I mean, work that change? From here to here. I'm here. The first time, I pretty much moved my arms. That's it. Second time, circle in the lower dantian to move the arms and pull down through the upper body to set. There is strength as the arms come down. This is not just lower the arms. If real world, you're here, I have somebody here, right? And I bring my arms over and pull down, that person will pull down. I will pull them down. They might not fall down, but this is going to come down. They're going to come down. That strength, sink into the legs, sink into the root, use the whole body. From here, right? One, let me step back here. 1, 2, right there. That set, we anticipate that. We know we're going to do that. We want to use it, right? We know it's coming. We know where the opening is to start it. This could turn out to be something else if I needed an application at that moment. It didn't have to be this. In our form, this is what we're doing, right? The anticipation of what we're going to do. The ability to see it coming. We see the movement that we're going to do. We see it coming. And then we use all of the skills, centering, balance, placement, correct posture, correct position. We use all of that to perform the application, to perform the movement. I'm going to do this. What's this? Everything I just talked about. A long list. In that one movement. And I need to prepare for all of that. I need to anticipate all of that is coming. That I'm going to do that. I talked about this, and I'm going to get started a little bit more with the movement in just a second. This idea, this philosophy behind. Once we can anticipate what we're going to do, as I said this at the beginning, we can start to anticipate what another person is going to do, what our opponent is going to do. That idea of telegraphing, of I'm going to show you through what I'm doing with my body, what I'm doing with my fist, what I'm doing with my foot, what I'm doing with my waist, how I'm moving. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. In boxing, it's telegraphing. There's more to that, and I'll talk about that more another time. That's the same skill that an actor learns when they're going to portray a character. Exactly the same skill. The way an actor may move and a way the character they portray moves can be quite different. And in some cases, it's absolutely necessary that it be different. Wouldn't be the character without it. That skill, to be able to see that movement, to be able to see small things in how another person moves, and then to be able to do those movements yourself. How can I move this way? How do I do that? Right? Gives us the ability to anticipate those movements. And that in turn gives us the ability to see other types of movement. And just like we can find the opening for the movement that we're going to do, the movement that someone else is doing, so that I can stop them or help them, depending on my approach, and the other things that we may be doing that we need to plan for, we need to work on, and we need to look for the opening. Where can I advance what I'm doing? What should I avoid, right? Where's there a problem that I just don't want to deal with? I want to avoid that, right? Being able to see that. My opponent has a wicked right hand. I want to avoid that right hand, okay? Right? How do I see that? How do I know that? And how do I avoid that? Being able to anticipate, being able to see what's coming. And this is not, there's no mystical thing. It's looking at detail, looking at multiple different angles, different facets, seeing things in 3 dimensions, seeing things in 4 dimensions across time. How long does it take me to get from point A to point B? Right? Being able to see that movement through time and space. Literally, gives us the ability to see other kinds of changes across time and space. It's not, again, something simple. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Today I'm going to have poached eggs for breakfast. I don't know that I'm going to, but let's say. Tomorrow I might have scrambled eggs. And the day after I might have French toast. Or I might have toast, no eggs at all. What am I going to anticipate? On Friday, maybe I'm going to have an omelet, and I'm going to put a lot of vegetables in it. I can anticipate that omelet. Right? I can see it coming. I know what it is. I know what I need to do to be able to create the circumstance for that to happen. And then I know what I need for it to actually happen. So, create the circumstance. Well, I need to have the vegetables and the eggs and be prepared to cook. If I'm going to cook, then I need to actually cook. We do the same thing in practice. We do our preparation. We know what we need to do to prepare. And then we do it. That skill, like I said, that transfers to all kinds of things. All right. The philosophy behind practice, the practice methods are varied for Bagua, for just about everything. The philosophy behind practice is human. We develop our skills through practice. We use them in practice, and we can use them in other ways as well. All right, so you see me standing here with my feet together. We're going to get started. Salute to the center. Slowly. Turn. Both hands open. Walk circle. All right, here. At this point, I have to start the change in my palms so that I end up in the correct position to start the turn. We have a similar change in palm change 5, where we're here, and I need to get to this position to start the turn. Different hand position to start from, end up at the same place. The timing is the same. So 8 steps around. 5, 6, yep. Let me try that again. Alright, I'm here, and let me go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right here. 6, 7, 8. Transition through 7, complete at 8. That changes a little bit if it's a 12-step around, right? Timing changes. My excuse me. My practice has always been the 8-step pattern. I've never really worked. I've paid attention to it, and I have practiced with in group class, I practiced on a much larger circle where it's however many changes you're going around. But my normal practice has always been with that 8 step, so that's where I focus. It's useful in a number of different ways. One is that there are 8 gua on the circle. There are 8 trigrams on the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5. As we practice that pattern, 8 steps, 1 for each, gives us both a dynamic and a regular form that I have found extremely valuable. And it seems to me that that is the nature of the way that we should practice, as paying attention to the 8 positions with 8 steps. Right? Palm change 7, one more time. Pay attention to as we start. Here we go, right? 6, 7, 8, right? Salute to the center. Turn left. Open both hands. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? In this case, we don't close to the center, we close to the side. So as I come here, slice in. Let me go the other way. I'm here. I'm here. This hand stays down. This hand comes in. Foot steps up. And we're going to turn around and go down. Very similar again to palm change 5. The same as I talked about with palm change 5 and I've talked about with pretty much everything else. Don't lean. Lower means your leg is going down lower, not your torso, right? So try not to do that. And definitely don't drop your head like that. Bad. It's bad. So as you go down, this sinks, right? Sink here, not here, to twist and come up. Now, we're not going to come up, we're actually going to spin, but just to let you know. That staying straight will help with that. It will. Alright, so let the leg do the work as you go down. Don't lean forward. Right foot front. Right? We just did this. Right foot front. Step up left. Slice across right. And right comes down. Step behind. Spin. Down. Both hands form a cup. Up. Out. Out. Elbow. The spin, I'm checking the camera over here. I got better at that. Alright. I'm checking. That sequence I just did is, I did fairly slow. We're going to do it again. As we come through, so I'm here. Sweep around, and I just walked through that. So the foot needs to turn, right? You can't do this with the foot doesn't turn. It won't happen. Trust me. Here. Your hip has to be, at this point, if you're here, you can't get all the way down. Won't happen. Your hip has to be back here, and your body has to be upright so that this leg can bend. As you go down, the hands come up. So, all right? Now, a little bit forward, more forward than I want to be in there. Here. All right? This should be, you should be able to go straight up and down here. If you're leaning here and your ankle goes to here, you can't do this. Excuse me. That spin down has to stay straight. As you come up, we do lean, right? That step up here. Both hands go out to both sides as the foot comes up. It's 3-point practice, right? Questions? That effort has to be grounded, right? So if you're leaning here, you're going to be off balance here, and this is going to be off balance. You can't bring any strength, you can't bring any force if you're off balance. And I'm going to tie that back to what I was talking about, anticipating what you're going to do next. I'm going down, and I know that next I need to be on my right leg because I have to come up on the right to be able to step and then kick with the right. I'm here, set the right, I'm going down. Right has to, I've got to come back up on that right leg. The left hadn't done anything yet. Right leg, step left, plant it. Right leg comes up to kick. That sequence, knowing that I'm going to come up and plant this foot because I'm going to kick with the other one. I know that even as I'm doing 2-3 movements before. I got poached eggs on Monday, scrambled eggs on Tuesday, no eggs on Wednesday, and an omelet on Friday. And Thursday, yeah, maybe we can skip breakfast. I don't know, donuts, bagels on Thursday. Right? I'm anticipating what is going to happen next. It's not I'm trying to avoid saying something that, because I just don't want to go there. This is a practical application of something that we do every day. We anticipate. What's going to happen next? What am I going to do? I've used breakfast as that idea of knowing what is going to happen, right? Menu, right? I've created my own menu, so it's not somebody is telling me I have to have this. It's my own menu. I've decided this is what I'm going to have. I know when I'm going to have it. I can anticipate that. I'd like that. I can anticipate it. I'd like to hit this position at the 8 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do it. I know what I wanted to do. I anticipated what I had planned to do. I know what the stepping method is. I know how to walk the circle, and I can get to where I needed to go in 8 steps. I can anticipate that. Using that throughout gives us both the ability to manage our own movements and to manage the movements of an opponent. We can anticipate what the opponent is going to do. We can also anticipate other things. I gave breakfast as the example. Other things that we may be working on, other things that we may be doing, we can see what's coming. We know what the elements are that make up this, whatever this thing is. For breakfast is eggs and vegetables and skillet and fire and oil, right? I know what these things are. These are what I need to make eggs. I need some kind of eggs to make eggs, right? What do I need? For Bagua, I need to be able to walk the circle. I need to be able to hold my center so that as I'm turning, as I'm going up and down, as I'm going through each of the turns, I can manage the movement and the dynamic that comes with. So right now we're just going real slow. And I can then be able to see how that movement works, how the dynamic of that movement works for me, and then I can start to translate that into what the dynamic is for an opponent. What is this person's movement telling me? What are they planning to do? The more we practice, the easier it is to see the small movements and be able to use them. Palm change 7, one more time. Feet together, stand straight. Salute to the center. Turn to the left. Open, both hands. Right foot front. Right hand to the center. Walk the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slice across and down. Don't lean. Turn the foot. Set down, come up, open, turn around. Left hand, right elbow, both fists, turn, open. This last part is easier when you go faster. It really is. The turn, excuse me, the turn here, this one, is much easier, faster than slower. You notice that I set my foot once here. I got to do it 3 or 4 times to get around when I'm going slower. That spin, that dynamic that comes with going a little bit faster and using the spin is what changes the footwork. If I was on a surface that I could just spin, I would. So rug and sneakers, I got a lot more friction here than I would have if I was on concrete, dirt, even grass, right? That surface, that your plain floor, depending on the flooring, right? That effort to come around, it's important to pay attention to it so that your foot ends up in the correct position, okay? You don't want, You can't do it if your foot's in the wrong position, and if your foot is repeatedly in the wrong position, what you will end up with is a problem with your knee. Okay? And here's what I mean by that. As you spin around, it's possible to take your foot all the way over here. All right, so I'm out all the way, my foot's going this way. My knee's not quite matching up with where my foot is. That's a big problem. My knee's over here, and I'm going to try and go down. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm not. That difference here, you should be able to see it. My knee's going this way, my toes are going this way. Right? I'm working to put my foot in the right position, and look what I did to my knee. Don't do that. Ever. Knee always stays over the toes. So when you put your foot down, the knee and the toes are both going the same place. Always. That means that as we turn, we've got to figure out how to get this foot to be where we need it to be, so that as we sink down, we have that ability to hold through the leg and then be able to come back up and not hurt the knee by too much by the foot going in the wrong place. Okay, so one of the techniques, right, as I turn here, put my toe, spin on the toe, this foot down, spin around more. As this last spin, that's where my heel is going to set. That's where I'm ready to go down. All right? Then I can come back up, take my step. This spin needs to stay more flat as much as possible, because as we come out of it, this comes out. And so here, this has to set solid, sink to extend, and I need to have weight on my right, not too much, because I'm going to step behind with the elbow. So if I'm too much weight on my right, it's going to be a problem for the step. If I don't have any weight on my right, it's a problem for the previous step. Where's my weight need to be? I need to check on something. Hang on just a second. Apologies for that. I needed to check on that background noise. It's not what I thought it was, which is probably a good thing. I'm going to wind up today's class anyway with, and we'll cover, I promise I'm going to cover palm change 8, I promise. All right, this, okay. Palm change 8. I promise I'm going to cover it this week. We'll work on it tomorrow. the twisting and turning through both of these moves, the palm change 7, palm change 8. And because I think of them as whole things, I don't think of this one move, that one move. It's palm change 7, it's palm change 8. Both of them require quite a bit more of this twisting and turning, as well as paying attention to the angle, direction, and the force around the circle that we're turning. I'm going to keep paying attention to that for the rest of this week and into next week. Like I said, I'm going to take it easy through palm changes 7 and 8. We'll spend this week and next week on them, and you'll see them again as we review all 8 of the palm changes on the circle. So I'm going to put it all back together again. It will be all 8 palm changes. So we're paying attention to each one now. Put it on the circle. We'll pay attention to another one. We'll put it on the circle, and we're almost done. All 8 will be on the circle, if not Wednesday maybe. I'll show it. We'll work on it next week and probably the following week. Through the end of this year, Bagua. On Thursday and Friday, we'll continue Qigong. In January, I have some changes coming. I'm looking at what to do with this time slot, 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. And additional material that I've already recorded, as well as some new material that I haven't done yet. Possibly some new classes. Next year looks pretty good right now. I'm thankful that you're here with me. I appreciate everybody that's here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.